Somebody doesn't like when the attention's not about it.
I hate puppies.
A lot of truth to that, Troy.
Good podcast.
Thought I was joking.
I feel threatened.
It's a big me energy.
Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Oh, I'm in Avalon, New Jersey.
No,
He's on a train.
somewhere between Fredericksburg and Richmond.
Whatever. Coming from Avalon.
R.I.P.
Flight problems.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Pallet House, only podcast dedicated to solving first world problems, or at least bringing them up. I think that's
right.
what we changed
Yeah.
last week, right? That was one of the adjustments we made. And hopefully helping you figure out what beer you should be drinking next week. This one's an interesting one. I have tried the beer as of last week.
I'm glad you haven't been keeping stats, or the advocates have been keeping stats on the amount of first world problems we've solved.
We've solved a few.
A few.
A few.
It depends on your definition of solved, really.
True.
I know certain things now that I wouldn't have known otherwise.
Sure.
And that is our goal, right?
Yeah,
Help
yeah.
people learn.
Yes.
We're an
This is
education podcast.
Inside the Science House.
That's
That's
right.
right. That is exactly right. I feel like I've been learning all kinds of stuff.
Learned a lot last week.
What we talked about last week?
Eating feet and
Oh, gosh, that's right. Yeah, this is why I don't listen to this show.
Just talking about it.
My buddy Adam hit me up and was like, "That got interesting real quick." I was like, "Yeah."
That's usually how it happens. Like, you start out making a joke, and then you're like, oh, wait, no. I think
Yeah.
that's actually where I stand on that.
Oh, and vabbing.
Vabbing is fantastic.
Is your wife on board yet?
She doesn't know it, but every night.
What's the male version of
The
that?
cops are going to be calling you, dude. That's not okay. Dude,
my-
in a
my-
marriage.
My wife caught me doing the male version of vabbing.
Oh,
We were driving back from Williamsburg, and she saw me like go up in my shorts and scratch my nuts, and I didn't think she was paying attention. I caught a whiff, I was just running a check.
Yeah.
I was just
Make
running
sure
a
you're
check.
fresh enough on the way
I
back.
don't ever feel the need to do that.
Well, then you probably don't have vab-worthy nuts.
Oh yeah, because that's what you think.
I think that I
You
was
smelled good sweaty balls before.
I was just checking to see if my
Would it be called testing?
Yes, exactly. Swing bagging. Yeah, I was just checking it out because I was like, if the funk is right, I'm gonna rub a little on my neck.
Oh yeah.
See how this
Set
goes.
the mood.
How'd it go?
She caught me smelling my balls and said that's disgusting, and I
Yeah.
ruined the mood.
Imagine that. Who could have seen that coming?
That drive back from 64 was less interesting than it could have been.
Wouldn't it have been the same though if you saw a girl put her fingers in and then smell them? You're like, what are you doing?
Don't think so.
So that's okay. That's exciting to you.
I didn't say that. I don't think anyone putting their fingers and then sniffing them is a good look.
No matter where you put it. You know what? You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Under the armpits,
Yep.
anywhere. Behind the knee. Gross.
Yeah.
What are you up to? What's going on that I don't know
Yeah.
about?
In your ass.
Ew. What? Troy?
Anywhere.
Gross. No, I'm with you though. Like anytime you check yourself for a stink, this is not how we
Chances are you stink.
and that's-
Especially in those areas.
well, because she and I had a crazy night out, and then we woke up in the morning, and she and I were both like, I don't feel great. Let's just go to the gym, and we went and worked out. And then instead of showering, she was like, nah, man, let's just change our shirts. And I was like, like your attitude. So then we rolled out. But then, I was bored in the car. It got the better of me. I wanted to know what's really going on.
Got around Nukin and be like, I can't do this drive anymore.
Yeah. I got to know what my balls smell like. Otherwise, I'm going to have to just pull this car into the trees.
Inside the Science House. I'm always running experiments. For better or worse.
Just keeping a log.
So you've learned something. Don't do that in front of your wife or she will be disgusted.
Literally was disgusted.
Yeah.
Called me out on it right away. I was like, you weren't even paying attention. But she had that peripheral vision
Yeah.
working overtime. I had no idea. Oops.
Yeah. Caught you lacking.
It's awesome. I was killing it, dude. Yeah, it was. I wasn't thinking straight.
No.
That was a long day because we went down to Williamsburg for a weekend away, and I'm thinking I got visions of Williamsburg Bear in my mind, which I definitely told that story, and she's like, I know the story. Like I've already told her to her, and I was like, you're gonna hear it again.
We got about an hour to kill,
Yep.
and
So let me
settle in.
Let me set the mood. You know.
It's like the family Christmas story you have to tell every year. Like,
Yes.
If you're in
And-
Williamsburg, you got to tell the Williamsburg Bear story.
So you're telling me she was disgusted on the way down and the way back?
I told that story for probably the 5th time she's heard it at a winery.
Nice.
Did she get any laughs? You got nothing out of her. I guarantee she was not intrigued by
Oh,
that at all.
She laughed, but she also she feels
Cried.
terror for what your wife. Because your wife
Not for me.
No, because I think in her mind, like you're the man. We wouldn't have been in this situation if it wasn't for you.
Oh yeah, that's how it works.
I'm just saying in her mind.
Yeah,
I think she
the man
signs-
created all of it, and the
Yes.
poor wife did none of it.
Just a victim.
Okay, that makes sense.
So she felt bad for the victim and just felt like you were just paying your penance.
She hadn't heard that story recently because in that story, every outsider didn't even know my wife was there.
She was cowering.
Yes.
That's
In
what
the
I said.
corner.
I said she was in the shadows, never got seen.
So it made me look even worse.
Well, that's what a bear does. A bear can roll solo, just forage through trash.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought I had a Williamsburg bear on my hand last night, like different. I was here and like my light, like I have a
Motion
sensor,
light?
yeah, motion light, and the thing goes off. It's like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and they go off every so often. Like something goes by, wind blows something. So I'm not thinking much of it, but I am looking out there, and then I see a shadow like go right by, and I'm like, and I was like, damn it. I'm like, what the hell is that? So I was like, now I got to go look. So you're doing that like awkward, like just peek out the window just a little, like you don't want to be
Make
seen.
sure the killers don't see you looking at them.
Exactly. Whereas I'm the one standing under a light. And it's like, they're going to see me.
Brendan's got not a blind or a shade on any window in his house, and he's like in a fishbowl, and he's like trying to hide behind the corner of the window.
Yeah. That was basically it.
Never seen it.
But then I'm looking out, I'm like, oh, there's nothing there. And then I saw another shadow like underneath the truck, and I was like, oh, there is something there. And then it turned out to be just a humongous
Piss pal?
black lab.
Oh, really?
Like it was a huge black lab. He was so fat and so tall, and he had nuts that are legendary. Like if I could see them in the dark,
Yeah.
like holy shnikes, look at the nuts on that thing. But he's over here just nudging my fence, like just pushing it.
Uh-oh. That's not good on your fence.
No, so he's just pushing my fence, like trying to figure out what's going on, and just milling around out there, and no collar, and just
So what'd you do?
let him wander away.
That's what I probably would have done.
I didn't go out and address him, but when I first saw that four-legged black form
yeah.
creep around the truck, I was like, the bear!
Yeah.
You know? Fortunately, it was the dog. But yeah,
And
we
you
went,
didn't recognize him? Wasn't a neighbor's dog that you knew or anything?
it didn't. It looked like a buddy of mine's dog that died years ago.
Oh. The ghost. Even creepier.
Yeah.
He came back.
Like it did. It looked
Zombie dog.
It looked a lot like this dog Reese. I was like, damn, Reese, like you got fat again. At the end there, you had really lost weight, but you are back, my friend.
And those balls.
The balls, magnificent. I don't know what it is about a set of nuts on a dog. Like it is magnificent. I'd
You're
like,
really
is
drawn
it?
to it?
I'm drawn to
Is
it.
it
yeah.
magnificent? That's the word?
Yeah, that's not what I would say.
You rub under there and rub it on its neck.
Oh, my
Nope.
God.
Sure don't.
No, people do not do that.
You know, they sell like fake nuts for dogs.
Yeah.
Like,
What?
So, yeah, after you get them neutered, you can have them put in nuts so you can maintain the look.
That is the look. The
Yeah.
aesthetic, that's what people
Yeah.
care
Yes,
about.
the aesthetic.
Dude, everything's about aesthetics these days.
Dog nuts.
Got to
are about
pass the vibe
aesthetic.
check.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Are we walking in there like a unit?
When I find the
Brendan's got a
human
set.
that cares about whether the look of a dog's set of nuts,
He's
guess that's a
standing
good
right in
tell.
front of you.
That's a good tell, yeah.
I tried to. My wife's got that little French bulldog, and he just had he had a nice set of nuts, but it
Little
created
grapes.
it created
Nice set of
this.
nut- What's he talking?
That's what
Who
you
is
just
this
said.
guy?
Who are these people that care? And I'm like, he's
I think
right
he's
across from me.
aroused.
No, I'm not. His was hilarious. What his looked like is there's an Eskimo on like the old Eskimo pies and stuff, like the character they draw. Do you know what I'm talking about?
You talking about Eskimo Brothers?
No, there's like an ice cream. It's disgusting, dude.
Oh, he's least disgusting. That's it.
But the way
I'm the
this
one.
the way this dog's like whole rear looked, the nuts were like the feet, and it looked just like this little Eskimo. And I was like, when we take his nuts, the Eskimo won't have any feet.
You spent way too much time looking at
We need to
dog nuts,
restart
dude.
this tonight.
Yeah, this was not written down. I guarantee.
Clearly. But so I ended up having to. I felt so bad that I'd lost the feet that I had to go buy googly eyes, and I put them just above his little tail. So like his butthole's his mouth, and like the tail's now his nose, and he's like he just runs around like whoa, those googly eyes flopping. It cracks me up to no end. As soon as the wife leaves, I go. I have 1,000 googly eyes. Literally, I bought a gross on Amazon, and they fit just right there, just over its little nubby tail, because French bulldogs don't have very good tails because they're abominations. And you just put those on there, and then when he runs, they just flop around, and it's. But I had to do that because we'd lost the nuts. I no longer had the Eskimo to look at, so now I have to look at like Grover. He's like a Muppet. It's fantastic.
What is going on?
You don't put googly eyes on stuff like living creatures, make them run backwards.
You've done 11 minutes on dog nuts. What in the holy hell are we doing here? Shut this down. Where is this going to go? If it's this far off the rails already, I'm scared.
This isn't even what I wanted to talk about.
I didn't even start that either.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just saying, you
I'm
take.
just saying.
I took something away. I had to add something back to fix the aesthetic. To Lee's point, but I went a different direction. I went eyes, not nuts. See, you guys make it sound like I'm weird.
Yeah, that's what we did.
Yeah.
I was doing something.
Let's
silence
apologize, Lee, yeah.
You're right.
We-
We should
we're-
apologize to listeners.
yeah.
All right, listeners, we really apologize.
Yeah.
We let him go
We let-
off the rails here.
We made Brendan sound weird, and that's
Yes.
on us.
Yeah, that's really our mistake.
For the record, I can pad.
Yeah.
I got stuff.
Well, when you're passionate about something, I mean, I can tell. The glint in your eyes was there.
stuff pent up, man.
Yeah.
I want to talk about some. I really think I could share some stuff tonight.
Yeah. All your neighbors gonna be like, yeah, he did look at those dogs pretty weird when they walked
Yeah.
by. It was strange.
He's
I'm
doing
gonna-
that whole meme of the guy looking back, but instead of a hot chick, it's dog nuts.
Just every dog
Every
from the rear.
dog with a set of nuts, Brendan's snapping his neck.
Even the
back.
ones that don't, he wants them to have
He's gotta
nuts
know.
instead.
He's got to know.
Hey, you got a
How do you
before
know?
picture of your dog?
Exactly,
I'd love
yeah.
to know.
Your dog had nuts, right?
Yeah.
Let's see him.
Oh, she's a chick? We can add
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah.
They got fake ones. You can just
can
pop
add
them right in there.
I know a guy. I got a contact.
Yeah, bring them over by the house.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to fly your dog to Cuba. Well, we're gonna get this done,
Damn you, America's healthcare.
and he'll come back with a new passport too.
Oh my God.
Get this thing sorted legally too. You know what I mean? Not just nuts for show. Legal nuts.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was something.
So you had a great weekend.
That bitch got some nuts. See, bitch is the technical term there.
I see that.
I did have a good weekend. But it
yeah.
started weird. We went down to Williamsburg.
This started weird.
We went down to Williamsburg and we decided we'll stop off and get like a sandwich, hit a winery. We're doing a little tasting, having fun. And we got this little Airbnb that's like right next to this restaurant that we really wanted to go to. And we get a text and it's like, "Hey, you can't stay here anymore. Call me." And I'm like,
I'm sorry, what?
Kind of have to stay there. Like, we're in town. So my wife calls them up. And
We traveled 44 miles to get here. Do you expect us to turn it back around?
that was the funniest part. She goes, "Well, we don't really have a choice because we've already driven all the way here and now we've been drinking." And I'm like, how does he think that we're going to finish off the last mile? I was like, why would you admit that? Like, we'll be fine. But it turned out that some creature had like crawled up in the room and just died.
Oh, Jesus.
And like the whole place just stunk. I guess they hadn't been in that room for a couple days.
That's weird.
When they opened the door, it was like god awful.
So when y'all stay at Airbnbs, do y'all do like rooms in people's houses or do you do like the whole entire place?
There's just a room.
Oh.
You never stayed in an Airbnb?
Yes.
I mean, not an Airbnb. I mean, not. It's a real B&B.
oh, okay.
Airbnb.
Gotcha.
Oh no, I won't stay.
Yeah,
in like
that's
some-
what I was like. I was like, man, you just like crashing people's houses?
No,
I've
I
never
find-
stayed in a B&B because it always seemed a little weird to me.
Yeah,
Like,
that's kind of the same.
The funny
yeah.
thing is that a hotel and a B&B, you still have people working there. You still
Sure.
have other people in the other rooms. It just somehow feels less secure. I know what you're
But
saying.
you have your own bathroom
you do
and kitchen area usually in a hotel nowadays.
this is
And I feel like the door's more secure.
I agree with that for whatever reason, even though a lot
They got like the 1910s like flimsy wood door.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Why does this have a bifold door on it?
Literally any skeleton key will open the door.
Yeah.
Just blow on it.
Yeah.
The creepy owner gives you your personalized key. No one else has this except me, I can guarantee.
But it is true. Like I always hate like I'll like walk downstairs to leave and then like there's people hanging out in the family room and I'm like, ew, gross.
Yeah.
But that's
Same-
no different
You're
than a
sleeping in
hotel.
their bed.
Yeah.
But you come downstairs and like in a hotel and
Why
there's
are you in
people
my
the
house?
lobby. But when I see it in Airbnb, I'm like, oh, come on, the family room's taken? Like I was going to hang out in the family room anyway.
The parlor was mine at 4:30 p.m. I reserved it.
I reserved that. Trying to watch that 1700s.
Have you stayed in a lot of B&Bs? That's something. Sounds like something you guys have done a lot of.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I've stayed in a lot. I've stayed in a lot more hotels, but I've certainly stayed in my fair share of B&Bs. And sometimes they're awesome.
Some are designed though, like they have their own bathrooms and they are more hotel-y, but
Oftentimes if you're looking around, you can find ones that have their own entrance. So you don't have to come through the
yeah.
house, like you can just go outside. I like those 'cause
Yeah.
then I feel like
because if you're coming home drunk at 1 a.m,
that's always my concern. I don't want to stagger in and then I meet some strays that are also drunk and
Yeah.
now I'm in a conversation that I didn't need
or
to
you
be
piss
in.
off the elderly woman working there because you came home too late.
Yep.
Curfew was 11.
I've certainly done it.
She's
though.
shaking her fist at you.
But sometimes you get some of the best food ever in the morning. But I also hate the fact that like I'm gonna be the asshole who missed breakfast.
Yeah, you got to sit
Yeah.
down for like family meal.
Yeah, I don't like that aspect of it. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, and I don't know how I'm gonna feel till that morning.
Again, like the hotel, it's just weird to me that like you're getting breakfast made by
Marge,
Grandmama.
yeah.
Yeah, but then like who's the lady making your continental breakfast at the
Yeah.
Best Western? Like that's
Yeah.
weird too.
It's
like,
so weird. It's the exact same thing,
Yeah.
but yet I have I'm like, oh, I don't know, hon. I don't want to stay in a B&B. There's gonna be people there.
yeah,
What do you think's gonna happen at the Marriott?
yeah,
And the alternative is an Airbnb where you then have to cook your own breakfast.
yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I'd much rather have that. But yeah, so at the last minute, we ended up getting shuffled off to some hotel by the convention center, not next to our restaurant. Which kind of sucked. We were like, we'll get room service. They're like, oh, we don't have a restaurant on site. Like,
So this is a Holiday Inn.
You know how many times I've ordered room service in my life?
I'm guessing this number's low.
It's low.
Like, count them on one hand.
Just guess.
0.
0. I've never ordered room service.
Dude,
That's a delight, honestly.
I love room service.
Yeah. It's always I've always found it better than what you're expecting the food to be too.
Especially if they have a restaurant in there, because then it's like,
Yeah.
I would usually rather go and explore the area and or the restaurant. Like, why spend extra time in the room per se?
I get that, but
I get that.
are you allowed to wear your robe into the restaurant?
No, but I'm not usually wanting to do that. I mean, I'm not saying a lot of hotels that have the robes. I've only done that a few times.
It's very rare if I'm there for one night that I would room service it.
Sure.
But sometimes I will go down, just get food, take it up.
Yeah.
I've done that. But if you're there for like 3-4 days and like you've hit restaurants, you've hit
Yeah.
stuff, there's something about room service where you're just like, you know what? I just want a cheeseburger and 3 beers. And they will literally just bring you a cheeseburger and 3 beers. And you're like,
I can see that.
jackpot.
Yeah, I think there's a beauty to it in certain circumstances. But like you said, you're there for 1 or 2 nights. Yeah, go out, see the town, see what's around. But you get the opportunity to just like chill in your bed and eat on your bed and not worry about like making a mess if you have to, like whatever.
Especially if you're with somebody. Like,
It just sounds like it's one of those like romantic things that is really popular in movies and culture,
Like it's
but
less than in real
but
life.
it's not. Yeah, it's just not what it would be in real life. But I
can-
could be wrong.
you
I've
can-
never done it, so
You can order bottles of wine up, stuff like that. Like I do like that option. 'Cause I don't
yeah,
wanna go
that
to-
sounds cool. Getting alcohol brought to your room's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't want to like go to the bar necessarily.
Yes,
It's
you
like-
do.
No, not if I'm already with somebody. I know what you're saying, but I don't know. The wife will be like, "I'm tired." I'll be like,
I've done the like have the bottle waiting for you and
Mm.
that kind of stuff.
That's room service.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like, no, that's like when you call ahead and like,
That's room service.
okay, well then I've done that.
You know what I mean? You call.
Yeah, but when
they bring
people,
it.
when you say room service, what do you think?
You're already in the room.
Yeah, I
if
think-
you
Thank you,
order the
thank you,
food.
Lee.
Yeah, I think the meal's coming up to me.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
Lee gets it.
You get it too.
You're focused on dog nuts. I get it.
Sometimes you
He's
can't
trying to
leave
find
the
That's
that-
room service.
Trying to find
That's
that
room
Animal
service.
Planet channel on the on the hotel TV.
Ooh, look at this one. Not yet neutered.
My fave.
Let's watch this.
So y'all had a good time.
Doggy style again?
It's your Airbnb. Do they have that? Do they have TVs and stuff? Cable and
Some.
stuff
Well,
like
I
that?
never got into that B&B. There was too
Oh,
many,
that's right.
too
You ended
many,
up
like,
in the hotel.
dead possums or something.
Did it have good reviews and stuff?
Apparently, my wife was like, "I want to go to this hotel." Like, I was looking at this anyway. We were stuck out by the convention center. It was miserable, but they had a shuttle.
Did the B&B pay for the hotel, or how did that work out?
Yes, and I have tried to explain to my wife. I was like, "This place $179 a night, and that Airbnb, that B&B was like $249." I was like, "You've lost money in this transaction."
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
you-
so you didn't get a refund, but
No,
they still paid for it.
the guy just called up,
Wow.
arranged everything, and I'm like, "Honey, it's cheaper here."
If I'm that guy, I'm just like hosting an Airbnb
Every
with big
weekend.
air quotes.
Every
and
weekend.
I'm just like sending people to the
Oh,
hotel instead.
dead
What do you do for
possum.
your real job? I run this hotel by the
Yeah.
convention
Make
center.
$70 a
and I
room
keep
a night.
one night open, one room every weekend open.
Yeah.
It's pretty brilliant.
He just calls up the hotel and be like, "I'll book the whole year for this room, thank you."
And that's a great excuse. Like if
Hell
someone tells you there's a dead animal and it reeks in there, you're not going to be like, show it
Yeah,
to me.
bet.
Let me go in there.
I wanna
and look.
see that animal.
Yeah. Let me smell that
Well,
room.
Brendan might.
He didn't.
I didn't.
If he said there's a big dog
Dude,
with
there's
some
the
nuts
dog
in
with
there.
the biggest pair of cojones you've ever seen is hanging out in this room. We can't get him out of there. And Brendan's
Yeah.
like, "Say no more, fam. I'm in."
You see his screeching tires,
Whipping
door
off the exit.
slamming,
Leave him in there. I'm gonna sleep
gravel
good
being
tonight.
thrown.
Those aren't pillows.
That's gross.
Dude, that seriously that seriously might be a racket. Like that might be a scam.
I mean, it was interesting because wouldn't that have impacted everybody? But
And that he found
You don't know how many rooms he's got in this place?
I just feel like a dead animal in the house that's so bad that one room can't be stayed in means
Go on Yelp
others
and
can't
see
be
if
stayed.
it's someone's posted about it.
How would they know? I mean, they just stayed at a hotel instead.
No, but like, can't people go on
There were
the
reviews.
website and be like,
review
Yeah,
the
yeah,
actual
yeah, yeah.
B&B. Yes.
there were reviews of it. But then
I've tried to book here 5 times and there's always a dead animal.
Oh,
so I
that's,
get
that
this
is the
shitty
way you would
hotel.
find it, yeah.
that's very
All right,
interesting.
probably not a scam.
Well,
Probably not, but
That's a good one, though.
it's plausible.
it worked out though. We had no room service. We had no restaurant on site. There was no bar on site. But they had a shuttle that took us right back to the restaurant we were trying to go to. So in the end, it worked out.
Well, and you said you tried to get an Uber though, and they were like, "We don't even have Ubers," which is
There's
weird.
No Ubers here. Like absolutely not.
I mean, Williamsburg's pretty small.
Well, we're in Colonial Williamsburg at that point.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at the horse and buggies then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Tri-point hats. Come on, bro.
It was
Get with the
pretty
times.
Could have got
Oh.
a nice romantic horse carriage ride.
Oh yeah, no, we
You
played.
could have looked at the nuts on the back of that horse. Gotten all steamed up before you got home.
We played hoop and stick all.
Yeah, you did.
Little ball in cup.
Bet you did.
Those do sound like euphemisms, don't they?
They do.
Oh no, yeah, I played hoop and stick all night. High
Seven-
score.
1700 to be wild in.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, ball and cup multiple times.
What else
I'm
you
glad you had fun.
I did. I had fun. I had fun. You know what they
What
don't?
restaurant did you go to? That was so good.
Good question.
You don't even know.
Something axe
Oh, it sounds great.
or ox.
got? Amber Ox.
Axe.
Amber ox. There it is. Boom. That
How does Lee know more than you do and you were just there?
Lee knows everything, dude. I took a picture of something and sent it to y'all,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Ooh," and nailed the name of the brewery on the glass like that was in town. I was like, "What the hell?"
Place is tight.
Yeah, like he knows this stuff.
But why don't you know it?
I do now.
Because he was drunk.
Thank you.
Amber Rocks. That place is fantastic too. For the record, like everybody should be going to the Amber Rocks. Like my wife had that one figured out. I was like, this place is amazing. It was
Yeah, it's tight.
Well, she knows how to pick them.
Oh yeah, she knows how to spend my money. There's no doubt about that. She was like, "Oh, we're going here."
Y'all didn't go Dutch
No,
since she picked it.
no. She pays for the hotel
Ah,
every month. We try
What if
to
she's
do
getting
this.
a cut from the B&B guy?
Oh, even better.
now it all makes sense. It's all coming
Cut
together.
of her own money back.
Yeah.
Here's that 35 I promised you, lady.
Yeah.
I'm making money.
Science, math, we know it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're here to detect all the scams.
That's
you got.
right.
If you got scams, send them to itphpodcast@gmail.com.
Here's a scam that I can't figure out what this guy was up to. So I was sitting here and Amazon showed up at the house, and my driveway has like a steep end. Like if you don't cut the wheel a little bit, you can
You gotta come up
Really
slowly.
bottom it out.
you just gotta kind of angle in. You don't want to come straight on or you'll scrape your bumper.
And slow. No matter if you're driving a truck or not.
Finally, the 4Runner's tall enough that I can barrel in here like a badass.
Yeah.
No. It's the only car you can do that with. But I had this Amazon came out and he was in the big old truck, like the full UPS size truck, and he has the landing coming off the back, like the step,
Oh.
And this guy decides to pull into the driveway, which I'm always like, don't pull in the driveway.
I didn't think any of those guys did that anymore. Like it takes more time to back that or
Heck yeah.
I mean
This guy pulls in, and then I hear the bang, 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 and he goes barreling out, and then I'm hearing just all kinds of commotion.
Yeah.
Just like all kinds of stuff. And I finish up my call, and like the commotion's still happening outside. I look out the window, and it's like this Amazon truck is just sitting at the end of the driveway, and there's just hearing tires spin. The guy's walking around. I'm like,
he got stuck.
what has this guy done? He barreled out so fast that he smashed that metal step on the back of the
Yeah.
Amazon truck square into the ground, took chunks out of the street,
Jeez.
and went back and then had himself wedged so his wheels were off the ground.
Oh my God.
So they're just spinning. And so I'm out here taking chunks of wood and sticking them under the tire, like
Yeah.
trying to get him any traction. And he's like, oh man, this thing's not going anywhere. They had to get a tow truck out.
And you
here.
know he thought too, he was like, I'm just gonna whip up in here and
Hell
it's
yeah.
gonna save me 30 seconds. And it's
Yeah.
like, congrats, dummy.
He lost like 2 hours in that
Yeah.
deal. I had an Amazon truck sitting in my yard, so I would go up and do calls, and
So
then
you
come
couldn't even
back
get in
down.
and out of your driveway if you wanted to.
No,
You were
the wor-
stuck at home. 'Cause
Yeah.
your driveway's one car wide
Yeah.
right there.
My daughter had to get to like tumbling class. Like I'm like I gotta get. So my wife had to come home, like park
Pick her
up
up
on
at
the
the
street. Yeah, it's horrible.
What a nightmare.
Yeah, so that Amazon guy lost some time.
And probably a job because he
Yeah,
probably
Daddy Bezos was all over that ass.
did all kinds of damage to that thing.
Because the rule with them is, I've learned about this. Like, if they sideswipe a car, they are supposed to keep going. Like, they call it into the dispatcher. The dispatcher
Because
sends
it costs
someone
them
out.
too much money to
Yeah, they
stop.
can't stop moving. So they have to call someone else in to come and deal with the fact that you hit a car. But if you see it happen, it's like, boom, your car gets hit. They'll pull away. And you're like, no, he
I don't
did
think you can
not.
do that. I think that's illegal.
Well, they have to document it.
Yeah, but still leaving the scene of an accident.
This is what I had heard on a radio show, actually, where the guys were calling in and they were like, yeah, we're supposed to report it to dispatch and then get back to work, and they come out and they
That's
did it.
why we can drink all the time.
I'm about to say they don't even have like bathroom breaks and stuff, man. Like, I'm not surprised by that at all.
Yeah, that's their policy.
I understand the not stopping to pee, but I don't understand that wrecking a vehicle and driving away.
Yeah, it does seem to.
That's what you see.
But-
You see videos of people like after tornadoes and stuff on the street, and like houses are torn up and trees down, and there's the dude with the Amazon boxes still like out
Yeah.
delivering. It's like, got a job to do.
That's right.
and that's a thankless job.
It is.
They do it. They do it on Saturdays and Sundays now.
Yeah, I had a guy show up this weekend to drop off some lava beads. Like $3 of lava
Yeah.
beads. They drive a giant ass truck all the way out here in the bot. Here's your lava beads. But
Did
it's
I tell
critical.
the
See 'em, look,
story?
they look good.
It's funny you brought Amazon up. I don't purchase a lot, but when I do, it ends up being on Amazon. Did I tell you what happened when I was at the Jackson Brown concert?
No. Oh, yeah, with the shirts.
Did I talk about it on the podcast?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
You did.
So I ordered that, got it on Friday. Then Thursday or Friday, I was in class and we were standing out in the sun. Everybody had these cool little hats on to keep the sun off you, and they're made to like keep it cool. And I was like, I'm gonna get one of those. While I was in class, went on Amazon, hit order. That thing was at my house the next day for like $20. It's like I wouldn't even know where to go to find this hat in the wild, and now it's like snap of the fingers, $20 later.
It's crazy. It's ruining everything.
It really is.
But it's so good because I hate shopping.
I get it. This is a man who hates room service, but you get the Amazon service. Like I'm with you though. I hate going places.
Going out shopping isn't fun to me. Like hunting stuff down isn't fun. Like
You just want it immediately.
well, I literally have wanted to buy things immediately that day, and like I'm gonna pay whatever I can if I can find it. Gone to 4 or 5 stores, not found it.
And that's the worst.
And then you're like, I've wasted half a day and a ton of gas in my time when I could have gone on Amazon and just bought the damn thing. Like,
And had it tomorrow.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. And that's what, because you can get anything.
Now, you're gonna mock me for the no room service. I've never done any of the Grubhub or any of that
Yeah, I know that about you.
because to me that's ridiculous.
I was at your lake house on Saturday, and I got back and checked my credit card. Apparently, I ordered a shit ton, $100 worth of ramen to the house on
When?
DoorDash while I was gone.
Who did that?
The family.
Oh my god!
And then the worst part about it is my
On DoorDash, like literally,
Yeah.
like prepared ramen, not like what I'm thinking of in the bag.
No. There's a good ramen place around the way. They wanted ramen. They ordered $100 worth of ramen to the house.
That's a year's supply.
3 women. Ate
That's
$100 worth of ramen.
How is that possible? Like, I've never eaten at a ramen restaurant, but like, I can't imagine how you could possibly spend $100 there.
Lord only knows. Now, here's the worst part about it. Yesterday, I'm hanging out with my wife, and she's like, it's ridiculous. We ordered $100 worth of ramen. And I'm like, that's crazy. She's like, I know. We went crazy. And I was like, that's way too much money we spent on ramen. She's like, I know. Today, I checked my credit card. I'm the one who paid for it.
She like texted you and was like, hey, order this for us.
She didn't tell me nothing. Like, she was talking about how bad she felt that she ordered so much ramen. I assumed she paid for it.
Your financial setup confuses me because I know you guys have your separate accounts, but why does she have access to your account?
They used my DoorDash account
Why do they have access to it?
because it's on the iPad.
Why do they have access to it?
Yeah, he's just logged in. And
Yeah, I'm just logged in.
You could
Log out.
set, you could
I didn't think I was getting robbed.
buy your own family.
$100 worth. A $30 ramen order.
That's insane.
And you know they threw half of it away.
Oh, they let me have it when I got home. We have extra ramen. Lots of it.
About to say, you got a week's worth.
There was so much ramen in the house. We could have
There's
just
not made that many
That was
different
out of
types
spite,
of ramen.
right? Like, how could you, like,
They were
It's
bragging
noodles.
that they tried every style.
why would you do that's so wasteful?
I don't
It's incredible.
understand.
I'm honestly proud of them. I'm not mad at them.
I would burn my house down if my family did that.
You get home and just be like, nope, fuck this house.
I would be like, are you people insane? I live with insane people. You think it's a good idea to be so lazy to order $100 worth of ramen? that
Noodles
you could,
and broth.
You could easily drive to, was it 2 miles from here, maybe?
Yeah, it's right down.
I
the road.
mean, oh my Lord. I would,
Troy's blood is
you would not
physically
last in
boiling.
this home.
no, I would not.
And I was at your house with no internet, so it's not like I got a notification. You know what I mean? Like it all
Like,
just.
he's off the grid. We can do it now.
If I hadn't checked
They
my
did that
credit
on
card,
purpose. They did that on purpose.
because I was paying my credit cards today, and I was like, "Oh, $100 at DoorDash. That's the ramen story." It all clicked. I haven't even brought it up. I totally forgot about it till right now. I need to bring that up.
Dirty.
Because when it was told to me, it was a funny story. Look
Yeah.
how crazy these women are.
Yeah. Ma be wilding out with that credit card.
They want to try all the different
I can't believe she
ramen.
told you about it. Like in
Yeah.
that manner.
by the way.
Like, you'll never guess what us crazy ladies did this weekend. We wasted $100 worth of ramen.
Damn, that sucks for you, bro.
Yeah.
There was no hiding it. There was ramen
Oh, there was
everywhere.
hiding.
But
Everything was
details
covered in
were left out
one.
on
yes,
purpose.
One
the
major
one
detail.
important
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. You paid for it.
You paid for it. What? What was that?
You got a bad cough while you were gone. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. We bought a bunch of ramen.
Objection! Hearsay!
That is not how that went down.
God, dude. You're a saint.
There it is.
You're a saint to not explode on that. I honestly don't even understand.
I totally, like I said, I saw it today when I was like, I paid my credit cards. I was like, wait a minute, and it hasn't. It didn't cross my mind again until right now.
I'm obviously the odd man out. I'm like, here I am not ordering Grubhub, and then Brendan's family's like, we got you covered.
I got
Don't you
binges
worry.
out
Yeah.
on ramen.
No, they order it from Uber Eats and DoorDash to see which one gets there faster, and then they throw the other one out.
They're like, can Uber Eats bring it to Grubhub and then they bring it to us?
I want to pay double service fees.
Yeah.
Really trying to help the drivers out.
Well, they make the world go round.
Your family,
Yeah. Your credit.
keeping the Midlothian
Your
economy
credit
alive.
card, yeah.
Isn't that the truth? Gosh. You got me. Now you're making me mad.
You
Troy.
should be. You should be furious. Now, in my house, like, if my wife ordered $100 worth of food, that's fine. We share
Yeah.
all monies. So it's like, hey, that's your money, is my money.
But she went out of her way to pay
yeah.
not with her money.
Yeah. And, like, you weren't even in town to
Yeah.
enjoy it.
No.
Like, you're buying us dinner while you're out of town.
I will give you the leftover broth.
Yeah, don't worry. We sucked all the noodles out of
Oh,
it.
that hard-boiled egg that was in there, it's kind of gross now,
Yeah.
probably.
double hard-boiled eggs.
Oh, sick. They paid extra. Love that.
I know my daughter literally
know,
ordered
hard-boiled egg.
double noodle, double chicken, double egg.
So instead of $1.50 worth of ramen, she got $3
Yeah.
worth.
Yeah, but I'm sure I paid $25
Oh, yeah.
for a
Yeah,
bowl
dog.
of ramen.
Service fee, bro. That shit's funny.
That's not.
You're spending money while you're not even here.
Yeah. You're supposed to be off the grid for a weekend.
That's right.
And you still were passing out Benjamin.
You were gone from your house less than 24 hours, and your family just raked you over the coals.
It's not funny.
Thanks for looking out.
Yeah.
Good looking out, fam.
Man, fuck that dad, dude.
Yeah, so you and the White Knight came to my river camper and hung out for a night.
That was nice, man. I enjoyed that. It was good.
Was it? Was it nice?
Well, it was fun.
It was fun. Okay.
Sorry, I didn't use the right word. Well, look, your spot.
You guys seemed quite surprised by some of the sights you saw down there.
I mean, I definitely look. Your spot was about what I expected. It was very nice. It looked out over the water. It felt like you were a world away from everything. It was beautiful. And
It's an interesting neighborhood, isn't it?
but that's what I didn't quite expect was the neighborhood. Like, my God.
Like the people that live there, the houses.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, like the people were clearly. Well, Troy said it best. It's like anywhere else in the world. It's a total cross section of humanity.
Sure.
It certainly leans redneck,
Oh, yeah.
but you still see the old lady out there, you know, watering her flowers, and you see like the guy who's got the ridiculous boat and the sweet setup and like
Yeah.
the beautiful car. Like you got your rich folk, but
The dogs with the nuts.
the majority of the
A
people,
lot of dogs and nuts there, I would have said.
yeah, the majority of the people there are just rednecks,
Yeah.
or white trash. Actually, it kind of goes in
Both.
that
You
direction.
can.
Yeah,
There's
but
a
there's-
Venn
there's a-
diagram of overlap there.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
A lot of Confederate flags, a lot of Trump flags,
Yep, it was.
but they're all nice. Everybody I've met's been nice. We met some of the locals. We hung out. We rode around. Took them on the golf
Socialized a
car
bit.
and socialized a little bit.
We went to there. We were told there was a party at like one of the
Like
common
the
areas.
pavilion, yeah.
So we rode up there and like
We were told somebody, I didn't know who they were. They were like, so-and-so rented out the pavilion, going up there, they're having a party.
they definitely had a DJ thumping.
Yeah, they had like a DJ with lights and like all this stuff.
It was going up, and we pulled up in the golf cart, and these two were sitting squarely in the golf cart, like all right, we're just gonna pull on out of here. I just hopped right out of the golf cart and walked right up in it. And there's the smell of meth coming off everyone around me, and I was just like checking it out.
Just catching that vibe.
I wanted to see what it was all about. You know, after about
You're only in Rome once, you know?
after a couple minutes of that, though, I was like, I'm getting back in the golf cart.
Yep.
But then Troy said, let's go down to Drunk Beach.
Yeah, there's a quote unquote beach. It's probably about twice as wide as the Pout House, and it's way off the beaten path. And it's called Drunk Beach because allegedly at night people get rowdy down there. Now I've never been at night. I kind of avoided it usually with the
Family man like
Yeah.
yourself.
Smart.
So you brought Brendan along.
So
I was like,
the
I'm
three of
in.
us went down there, and it wasn't that wild and crazy. There was one big truck with a kicking sound system.
Dude, that stereo?
What they have? Maybe 8 or 10 people hanging out with them.
Yeah, they were all piled. They all came down in that truck. They
Yeah.
were all partying down there. They were young. They
Yeah.
were just having a good time.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't doing anything wrong. They were playing the music about 700 decibels louder than
Yeah.
anybody should. But at the same time,
But they had like glow sticks and lights and stuff going on too.
they weren't just drunk.
Oh, they were
No.
raving.
They were raving to country music.
They had. It was funny because Brennan and I will get to play music and we'll play a minute and a half, 2 minutes of a song, and then we'll go to the next song and do the same thing. And you. And
Yeah,
he'll-
music ADD.
Yeah. You play. It's exactly what we call it. It's like he'll play a song, I'll play a song. Oh, I remember this. Da, da, da. And I don't know what was going on with that truck, but those fools were like 25, 30 seconds, new song. 25, 30 seconds, new song.
Yeah, man.
It was wild. And so we got off the golf cart and we just kind of hung out.
We went to the other side. Like, figured
Yeah.
we'd go be away from them and just kind of hang out, look at the water, drink a beer.
It was a
Three bros just broing it out.
beautiful night.
Out. It was.
And we're standing there all of a sudden, just hear somebody start talking to Brendan. And I look over and it's this couple. And I mean, it was dark and the night was clear, but it was
No
the moon
full-
the
no
moon
full
was
moon.
yeah, the moon was not out. So like you couldn't really make out who you were talking to, but it was definitely an older couple. And the dude started talking Brendan up, and the chick started talking the White Knight up, and I'm just standing there with my dog, just like wondering, listening to the music change every 30 seconds, wondering what the hell is going on.
This dude makes the one guy in the water boy who's like, makes him sound like the world's most enunciated dude in the world. Yeah, this guy rolls up and he's like, man, I'm Albuquerque. And then you'd hear that one word, you'd be like, Albuquerque's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Just latch on to the
And
one
then
thing.
and then he would be like, and just keep, and I'm like, I cannot for the fucking life of me understand this guy, and he won't stop chatting me up. And every time I pick up a couple things, I'll try to like steer a conversation. It's just
He
not-
started talking about how he didn't like country music. And then, like, his old lady started talking about what she liked. And she and the White Knight were going back and forth. And Brendan and the dude were going back and forth. And, like, I hear the chick talking about, like, I saw David Bowie back in 82. I saw Queen in 84. I saw... And who did she said she slept with...
someone from the Who, right?
Yeah, she's like, and I slept with the drummer from the Who. And her husband's sitting right there. And I'm like, what is going on? And then this guy's chatting Brendan up. And I'm just like... I'm literally in sensory overload between trying to listen to both conversations and the music going on behind me, and I can't really hear anything, but I can hear everything, and I'm just like, what is going on?
I even tried to come over to you and I was like, hey man, I go, are you good?
Yeah,
Like
so-
trying to get like, I'm ready to get the fuck out of here. These people are creeping me out.
See, when you said that, y'all
just-
were drinking, I wasn't, so I thought you meant like, are you okay? Like, are you?
Yeah, I
you-
was trying
you
to
wanna
hint,
go?
like, let's get out of
So
here.
I was like, no, I'm good, man.
I was like, shit.
So then,
So it's like, keep doing your thing. Put the vibe out.
This guy's sitting there and he keeps saying the word voodoo. And now he's like, man, I don't know, voodoo juice. And I'm like, voodoo juice.
he's like, I got me that voodoo juice, and we're like, what in the holy hell is this
So
redneck
I'm like,
talking about?
I'm like, I haven't had voodoo juice. Like where
Yeah,
do you get
I thought it was like
What's
some
up?
crazy homemade or some like malt liquor I didn't even know about. You
He
know,
reaches in his bag and he pulls out. It's a Voodoo Ranger from New
Oh,
Belgium.
okay.
he had a koozie.
You're like, I know
he, like,
that.
Peeled
It
the
was a-
koozie off of.
Yeah,
it.
and I was like, was like, oh, that's a really good beer, really strong. And then it hit me. I was like, yes, I've got an out. And I go, hey man, that guy over there, that guy does a podcast and he reviews beers every week. Like he's probably like the connoisseur.
That's what he
of
said.
beers.
It's exactly what he said.
I
He
go-
goes, he's probably got the best beer palate of anyone. And I'm going, and he's going, he does a podcast. He reviews beer. He loves talking beer, and he loves that beer, and he's excellent at doing it.
That's fucking dirty.
I go, he's kind of a big deal.
Yeah,
Have you ever heard of the Audio Dreamboat?
that's right.
Yeah, so then I go, Troy, come here. And Troy comes walking over and I was like, hey man, look at this. This dude's got Voodoo Ranger. And Troy's like, yeah, that's a
Sick.
good beer. I just bolted.
He walked away. He just walked away.
I was like, I just stood there by the water there. And I could feel the steam.
9.5.
Yeah. You could feel the steam coming off Troy. And I'm just sitting there in the dark. I mean, it probably only took about 3-4 minutes before Troy goes, hey man, I'm out of beer. We should go for a ride.
You
And
just Homer Simpson back into the bushes.
I was like, I'm out of beer too, Troy. Let's get in the cart.
In that 4 minutes, this dude told me no less than 3 or 4 times. He goes, "Yeah, man, I drank Jack Green and Coke. I drank it 15, 20 years." And then I went to a bar, and the guy said, he made me a Jack and Coke. I asked for Jack and Coke, and he poured Jack Black in there. And I said, "What? I thought you were supposed to put Jack Green in there." He said, "Nah, man, Jack Black. I've been doing it wrong for 15, 20 years. I've been drinking Jack and Coke wrong for 15, 20
I've been paying
years."
extra for the rye every time.
And I'm going, what are you talking about? There's no wrong way to make a Jack and Coke.
It's whatever you like.
Yes.
You do Beam and Coke. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
There's probably 15 Jacks. You can put any of them in Coke. It doesn't matter.
I
And
was,
then, and then I'm like, I'm out of drink. Let's go.
which he never even had a drink.
I did have a whatever I think I had a seltzer
Bud
water or
NA
something. Yeah.
but it was just to hear you go, hey man, I'm out of beer. I was like, yes. All right. But I was so proud of myself.
I
And I
can't
was
believe
like,
you pawned him off like that.
dude, I
What
had
a friend.
I had no choice.
Besties.
And to me, highlight of the night.
You smoothest operation of the whole night.
I was laughing.
You didn't know that you paid $100 for ramen yet.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and right in that moment, God is out there like, and scores even.
Ball don't lie.
Ball don't lie.
That was after we had gone to dinner at the Shady Shack, which was on Brendan's to-do list.
Place was great.
Yeah.
Everything.
Cool
I
little
dreamed it would be.
lakeside open air bar
pretty dope.
/ restaurant.
And good pizza,
Good food, good setting.
good bang bang shrimp,
Yeah.
shady shrimp.
Like that.
It was a tasty treat.
And then we went back and took a golf cart ride and then just hung out on the deck the rest of the night.
Just pawned off strays on Troy as many
Yeah.
times as I
awesome.
could. Speaking of strays, I got a beer for us.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
This is gonna be good.
Can't wait to see.
I mean, I assume stray meaning like stray cat,
Stray
dog,
dog.
Stray Kung Fu kittens.
kung fu kitten.
Who makes that?
Precarious.
Never seen that.
Also out of Williamsburg.
Yes. So
Is that where you got it?
yeah. So this night, I'm down there at Babe's Big Blue Ox, and I end up. It's the end of the night. And I've had far too much to drink at this point.
No.
Yes.
Did you have any of the tacos there by chance?
No, I saw them. They looked amazing. But I ended up getting a wild boar rack and a steak
As one does.
and split it with we split the 2 meals. Also got a ham board.
Nice.
I tried to eat every mammal.
You got any manatee back there?
They did.
I hope they didn't.
So I asked the lady, I said, look, what do you got in there that's under 7% that I should really try? You know I'm drunk when I'm using 7.
Yeah, that's the baseline.
Yeah. And she comes back and she hands me this Kung Fu Kitten Hazy IPA. Now, let me tell you that when I had a sip of this beer, I thought it was the single greatest beer I'd ever had.
Keep in mind, you also have had
And you were
Four di-
blasted.
Blasted.
Okay.
Four
And
different
so-
mammals prepared 4 different ways.
Yeah. So I actually have no idea if this beer is good because I can't really. But in the moment,
Well, it
I
does
was-
say hazy IPA, so that should give you an idea of how tasty this beer is going to be.
I mean, it says Kung Fu Kittens, dude.
It's right up his alley, really.
Yeah.
Precarious Kung Fu Kittens. Here we go. First sober sip of Kung Fu Kittens by Precarious.
So this is,
Go ahead.
I was going to say, this says, this IPA hits hard with flavors and aromas of fresh oranges and passion fruit from heavy additions of Eldorado and Citra hops, yet is smooth and soft with extremely low bitterness. And this is 6.6. So just under your 7% requirement.
Yes, exactly right.
Did you try a bunch of their stuff?
I went to the Precarious Brewery earlier in the night and had one beer and was like, this beer sucks my ass. I had a difficult time getting a beer. There was no one there. Like, I'm standing there like, hello. They don't tell you that they don't serve you at the bar. So I sat at
Nice.
the bar for like a minute.
Because that's where most people wouldn't go to a bar to get a drink.
No, so then I found a sign. There's like, order beer this way. So I go up there and I stood there
already
for a
hate this
couple
place.
minutes and there was no one there. So I went around to the like a food part and I was like, do you sell beer here? And they were like, no, you stand over there. I was like, yeah, I've been standing there. Okay, I'll go back. Stood there, got a beer, and I'm like, hey, is that beer like this? And they're like, oh no. Like they had a Mexican lager. So I was like, okay, well my
That
wife
should be an easy drinking.
my wife would get a Mexican lager.
Yeah.
I was like, let me get a Mexican lager with a lime. And he goes, we don't put limes in it. And I was like, oh, well, what's your Mexican lager like? They're like, we age it in oak. It's a real oaky beer. I was like, that's not a Mexican lager. So then I did order some other beer, and I was like, yeah, this is average at best. But then randomly at Amber Ox, they handed me Kung Fu Kitten.
These
changed my life.
these breweries have just gotten willy-nilly with what they do and make up. Like, it's just, we're going to make our own version of whatever and call it whatever, and you have no argument here. It's like, no, there are things like Mexican lagers
That's a Mexican lager.
There's a standard,
Yes.
and then you go from there. Not we've gone off in a different direction, and we're still going to call it a Mexican lager, and that way, when you order it, you're going to be hella confused.
That was my whole point. I was annoyed with them. I was
Yeah.
like, this is not great. So then I ordered my wife a margarita. She took 2 sips of that. It was like, I can already feel the heartburn. I was like, let's go.
It's like certain foods. It's like you order a club sandwich. You know what a club sandwich should be, and yeah, you could add a.
It's
maybe
funny you
change
say
a
that.
little things.
That's my go-to because no one can screw it up.
Yeah,
It's always
but
going
it
to hit.
can be screwed up.
Yeah, but it's still going to hit a certain. As long as they make a normal club sandwich, it should hit a level. Better or worse, it should just hit a level. Like if you're in a strip club and you're hungry, get the club sandwich.
Yeah,
It's your safest bet. Don't go like, I'll take the Delmonico.
yeah.
You have failed.
Ooh, you have a Monte Cristo on the menu?
Oh, a Monte Cristo. Yes, that's exactly what I want. That sounds perfect.
Yeah, I'll try your Cuban. What could you do to that?
Yeah.
Oh, you have slow roasted pork here? Wild.
It's either a club or chicken tenders.
Is Candy the one doing the brisket?
Jeez.
Yes. She smells like smoke. She's got baking powder
Not the good
all over her nose. She looks like she's been cooking.
No, it's flour. Yeah, from
she's
the
been-
fried
she's
chicken
been,
tenders.
yeah, she's been baking and cooking quite a bit. For someone so skinny, she sure seems to spend a lot of time around the fryer.
No, you flip that. It should be for someone who's around the fryer so much. She'll weigh a lot more.
Jeez. I guess don't get high off your own supply, right, Candy? Troy, you want to go first with this Kung Fu Kittens?
Yeah, I'll go first. It was very interesting. I definitely could taste some of the notes that you had mentioned. It finished somewhat clean for a hazy IPA. To me, though, it's still just over the top metallic. I just thought it was a very metallic taste, which I'm never a fan of.
Yeah, I give you that.
I'll give it a 3. It's slightly better than average. I could drink one of those for sure.
It's. So you want me to go first?
It's not stellar. It's not. I can't wait to order more and point more people in that direction.
Yeah, it's funny how you look at it through the lens of a drunken haze and then a sober haze.
Yeah.
I imagine your perspective is going to be different on it first time and second time.
I'm still in the ballpark of my first time, but I'm not as like.
Yeah. First time for me, I get the Citra hops, Eldorado. I think it's pretty smooth. I don't get a lot of bitterness. I don't get the metallic taste, and I do wonder. I mean, we've talked about it for so many times. Like
I had it on draft there.
They've figured out cans now. We shouldn't have that problem, and maybe
But have they?
Yeah, I mean, I don't ever get it. I feel like as much as some other people do. I don't get a metallic finish here. I think it's pretty smooth. It almost leans into that juicy IPA a little bit more than hazy for me.
Well, I never thought cans back in the day had a real metallic taste to them, like everybody would swear they did. Like this
I just drink
metallic,
bottles.
this metallic is not from the can. I don't think.
You think it's in the flavoring?
I think it's in the
almost,
flavoring,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, it's something in the beer.
For me, I think this is definitely above average. I like this. 6.6 is a good point for an IPA. Like if I want 2 or 3 of these and have a good night, I think that's pretty solid. I'll give this a 3.5. Overall, I like it. I think there's more to like about it than dislike by all means. But flavors, I think, are great. And this is
The orange flavor.
Yes.
Like so pronounced.
Yeah.
Love it. It comes in on the front end.
Yes.
And it holds all through the back end, and that masks a lot of the bitterness. It's a lot smoother than it should
Very
be.
clean and smooth.
I think that's the biggest takeaway. It's super smooth. Like just
Super
easy to drink. No bitter for me.
Well, that was my whole problem that night. I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
6.6?
Yeah.
I can drink it like this? I was like, this is amazing. I immediately said, do you sell them to go? I need 4 of these. I got some buddies going to try this.
I got this podcast.
Yeah, my buddy Troy's got this podcast. Probably the greatest connoisseur of beer ever. This beer is tough for me, though, because like it is super smooth. It doesn't have a whole lot of bitterness. I taste a little of that metallic that you're talking about, Troy. But to me, it's just orange. And I love that kind of Citra hop orange.
It's almost an orange rind rather than orange juice.
I wonder
if, that
if
makes
they
sense.
did that.
Yeah.
Because you typically get a little more bitterness out of rinds of citrus things than the straight juice, which is the extra sugary.
Yes.
But it's not a bad bitterness. It's that orange zest. It's that maybe a touch too much pith or something. But like
That's exactly right. That
Yeah.
that hint of sour, that's the pith.
yeah,
But it's fantastic. Like I want to go 4, but I can't because of the company it would put it in. But it's damn near there. Like that is a fantastic IPA.
I mean, lately, name a better IPA you've been having though. Like that's
For
the
a true IPA.
Yeah,
this
sure.
is a real
Yeah.
true like a lot of them I'm noticing are a little more candy ass. And I'm like, okay,
Oh,
that's
we're the
really good.
all day vacays, like that
Yeah.
kind of thing. Is like we are catering to like we're making this stuff light and easy to drink for you.
This is
a
hazy and juicy,
Exactly.
but still
give it the
really
4.
smooth.
I know you don't want to.
I don't want to just because of where it puts it, but it still wouldn't win a deli, so I guess I could because it'll put it right at the line.
Yeah,
If you gave it
I think
a 4,
I think a
3.5.
3.5's right. Honestly.
Yeah, so if I'm giving it the 4
Oh,
because it's going to net out at a 3.5.
Dude, bad choice.
No, I'm going to give it the 4. I really like that IPA.
If you really like it, then
Yeah,
That's what you give it.
I do. I think that's a fantastic. If you like an orangey
So,
IPA, go to the Big Blue Ox and pick it up.
no, go to Precarious and pick it up.
Go to the Amber Ox.
So my first interaction with Precarious actually was they've got a lime goza that I think is incredible. That you can pick up seasonally, sells out super quick. But happened to find it at a beer store here in Richmond. Stumbled upon it. I was like, I like lime, I like gozas. Let's try this out. And Jay and I had it at the house, and we're like, this shit is great. And we went back to the store the next day, bought everything they had.
you bought it all, huh?
It only had like 3 or 4 4-packs.
Yeah.
I'm like, yep, we'll stock up the fridge with that.
I got to send a shout out to Jay. He sent me in the direction of a damn good brunch spot on Saturday.
Nice.
I was driving back, and and my wife was like, "Well, let's look up a brunch spot." And I was like, "Nah, I refuse to go on Google for this. Like, all I'm gonna find is just whatever the hell Google thinks is right." And I was like, "I'm going to Jay. I need Jay's. He's got a food blog. The man likes to eat.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to Jay." And he immediately was like some place called like Fat Biscuit or SB's Love Shack. And I'm like, my wife hates biscuits. Sold.
Hates
SB's
biscuits?
She's just communist. She's she's Ukrainian
So weird.
and Irish. So just confused and mad.
Who hates a delicious biscuit?
I don't know, skinny
Someone who
women.
likes $100 of ramen, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. But so,
All out of money to buy biscuits.
Think how many biscuits you could buy for that.
but Jay turned.
Hey, Brandon,
Jay-
go back
that
out of
place-
town. I got to make a purchase.
That place was good,
SP's is dope.
dude. That
Yeah, I haven't been there yet.
place was phenomenal. I was blown, and their Bloody Marys. I didn't even have to ask for it spicy. It was just perfect. I was like,
I always ask for spicy just because I don't trust that it's not going to be. And then when you get a truly spicy one, you're like, oh, they hooked me up.
yeah, no, this thing was good, and they, ironically, the biscuits and gravy, phenomenal.
Boo.
I get-
Biscuits suck. Everybody knows this.
But their breakfast burrito was like baddest breakfast burrito I ever had. I was blown away.
Long wait. Because you were there on a Saturday at brunch time. So I
Yeah, like
assume that-
11
yeah.
o'clock is when we pulled up. But you know what? It was a 30-minute wait, and I scored a bar seat within 15.
God, I love a bar seat.
I didn't eat a meal this week that wasn't at a bar seat.
The bar seat's like
Literally.
the cheat code for all of.
When we went out to
Yep.
dinner, ate at a bar seat. I went to the Big
love
Blue
eating at a
Ox,
bar.
ate at a bar seat.
Well, you feel like you're getting something, like you're literally
You're
hacking
getting an
life.
interaction, too.
Well,
like,
and it's just like 40 minutes or now.
hour and a half.
Let's
or
go
like-
now.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I don't understand people who opt for the seat.
yeah. I
Like,
mean, I
I'd
get it.
rather go to a table.
I get if you're,
Sure, if there's
on-
4 of you or something.
yeah, or you're on a
That-
date.
I will say, anything more than 3 people sitting at a bar sucks.
Yeah.
Because you,
Yes.
you can't, if you're on the ends, you can't talk across. Like,
That's
it's a pain in
true.
the ass. Unless you happen to get a corner spot.
Yeah.
Like, there's
But
a
on
lot of stipulations.
On a date night,
Yeah.
I'd rather just sit at the bar because, to your point, I interact with the bartender more
See,
than I
that's
ever
I
would.
think
They
that's a
always-
bad. I mean, I say date night as in just starting dating. I don't think that's what you want to do. But like, if you've been in a long term relationship, yeah, definitely take the bar.
Well, it depends too,
Absolutely.
because I think bartenders can recognize. I mean, they're there all the time. They
Yeah.
recognize when people on dates, and they always kind of like help out with the conversation, or they back away. Like they let you have your space if you want. Like,
Depends on where you go, because we couldn't get damn drink to save our lives at the bar we went to.
True, but if you're with your girl and you're trying to play ball and cup later, bartender
Yeah.
can help you, help you moving along, you know?
Yeah,
Get you over that stick and hoop stage.
just saying.
It's nice.
I get it.
It's nice. But you're right. Our service was until the end.
Till the end, yeah.
And then they were like, don't go. Like, you got to go. I don't want to be here anymore. I got an after party to get to at Drunk Beach.
That's right.
Hey, come on down there. Are you the audio dreamboat?
Green, Jack Green and Coke.
Your reputation
Doing them
precedes you,
wrong.
Troy.
That's right. Well, I got my biggest fan over here,
Hyping
talking
you
me
up.
up. My hype man
Absolutely.
over here.
Yeah.
Never do me wrong.
Yeah. The audio dreamboat, aka Williams Repair.
That's right.
I got your back, man.
You do. It's nice
It's a
knowing you're
real
in my
life
corner.
Cincinnati swap almost.
That's right.
Did y'all at least like drop the podcast name so the dude can find it?
Hell no. You think that dude can find a podcast?
Yeah. Do you think he knows what
I
a
mean,
podcast is?
Everything you described about him makes me think he's very technologically savvy.
Oh, yeah, dude. If this dude can figure out the number to call so we can listen to it on his landline,
I'm gonna hang up and listen.
don't do that. Now you got to download it again. Tell him to give us a review. He'll just stand outside. It's really good.
yeah.
He stands at your driveway.
5-star, 5-star, 5-star. That dude was nasty. Nasty.
Yeah. He was something else.
If I got Freaky Friday and woke up in that dude's body,
Oh,
I'd,
God.
I'd kill myself before lunch.
Immediately.
Like, just the first shit I take when I
Take
feel
your
oh,
life and his.
done.
First time you came around the corner in the bathroom and saw yourself, you just be like, that's it. I'm done.
Can I get a physical description of this guy? Because I think you've described like
He was short.
loosely,
He was super short, so we'll call him 5'3".
like Stu.
No, he wasn't that short, but he was 5'6".
Oh, so like Stu.
Yeah, like Stu. 100 pounds.
You really couldn't see him. I mean, he had a belly on him, but he was not like a massive dude.
He had that weird like distended belly.
Yeah.
yeah,
like-
yeah.
Like
like he
flies
might have
on
been
him.
drinking, flies and
for the
stuff.
for the price of a cup of coffee.
Sarah
a day,
McLaughlin's in the background.
yeah, you could have fed this motherfucker. Good set of nuts.
Hefty.
Brendan always got that.
Yeah, no, he was
Probably
Did you give him a feel?
Probably in jean shorts and the tank top.
Yeah, he was.
I forget that you said it was so dark you couldn't see.
Yeah.
No, he was probably like 115 pounds, 5'6", methed out, probably 40 years old, looks 65.
No, he was in the 60s.
Yeah, well, that's right. She fucked someone from the Who.
Yeah, because she was like,
back when they could get hard. So
she was like you guys aren't as old as we are. And the white knight's like, well, we're in our 40s. And she's like, I'm in my 60s. I fucked the guy from who?
I like that. That's her like descriptor of
Yep.
age. Like,
Yeah.
No, that's her descriptor of her pinnacle in life. Like
Yeah.
if I was at a,
she peaked.
yeah, I'd be like, oh,
She peaked in 82, which kind of checks out.
I'm a Nobel laureate. Like these
was
are
in
the
her
things.
early
Pinball
20s.
wizard. I was
Yeah,
the
exactly,
muse
yeah.
for that.
Yeah. They just keep fingering. The balls would keep slapping around.
Oh,
It's a very ball heavy episode.
you had a deaf, dumb, and blind guy inside of you. Got it. That's what he sings. That's a descriptor of what he sings.
Shit.
She fucked Tommy.
He was a good boy.
She was confused.
Shit. Oh, they just
That's the
called her.
old 6 degrees to 7 bacon right there.
They called her the pinball
I
machine.
fucked someone from the Who by proxy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you're connected to
That's
Tommy.
right.
Oh no. And then she had a kid, and that was the guy standing there. That's why she could tell the story so freely because
Yeah.
we don't know they were married.
Yeah. What if it was his son? Her son.
Do not.
I'm saying that's Tommy's kid from Pinball Wizard.
Tommy Jr.
Dude,
Old TJ.
he looked like a TJ.
Yeah.
What, square headlights? That's a YJ.
It's a,
Still funny.
It's a Jeep joke. TJ's first year they went back to round headlights.
We still never, we didn't get their names.
Good.
Yeah.
They got yours. That's
Hopefully, oh, that dude could barely stand. He wouldn't know who I was if I came up and told him the whole story again.
yeah. I could start it all over.
Yeah.
See that guy over there? Who that guy?
No way.
Never met him.
I did. He's quite the connoisseur. That word probably went right over his head.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Yeah. Over there. Like that guy. All of those went over his head.
Put together a whole sentence.
Yeah. I messed him up.
That's ableist.
Yeah, you're showing off your education. Privilege.
I see you're wearing shoes. Yuppie.
Got all your teeth.
Most of them. It was an interesting journey.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you got to go to the lake, though.
I did, man. Troy's got a beautiful.
Did you buy any lake
beautiful
houses
spot.
while you were there?
We went and looked at one.
Oh,
Yeah. They're asking, what, $200,000 too much for that house?
Oh, yeah.
It was.
does it have walls?
This one did.
That's good.
I have 4.
Oh,
It had stairs.
look at it go.
Yeah.
Had
I
a-
looked at one, had no stairs. Had 2 stories.
Had a lot of elevation change in it.
Got a rock wall to just climb up.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. They were like, this is where the stairs will go. There was a sign.
Stairs go here.
Stairs go here. I was like, oh, cool. That's super cool.
Like, gonna get it wrapped up prior to contract closing or what?
Literally, the only stairs in the house were outside. So you could go outside, go down, walk around, come back in.
Well, you're not gonna use it in the winter anyway, right?
I get the logic.
So you can have a rental property upstairs.
Yeah, it keeps it cut off.
Yeah.
Our Airbnb.
That's right. You keep talking about wanting to rent your fictional lake house out anyway.
Another dead animal.
Could
Sorry.
you rent out the pallet house?
Yeah, sure.
I bet you could.
Yeah, why not?
Not for sleeping. You
Yeah.
mean like
No. People would stay here.
You wouldn't be legally you couldn't.
You got a bathroom right outside.
What do you mean legally you can't? You can put anyone in. You can Airbnb
No,
a
this-
shed.
This is
Yeah, but I do think you have to have a bathroom.
this isn't the certificate of occupancy and for living space.
Chesterfield's changing their zoning. You know, we can get an
I don't
ADU
know.
out here.
I could. All right, so
I know. That's why I'm saying it.
no, I'm saying I saw an Airbnb that was a guy's garage,
That doesn't make it legal.
but he didn't.
You're not even
Whoa,
supposed
whoa,
to
whoa,
turn.
whoa, 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 whoa! Airbnb doesn't necessarily follow local laws and
That's all I'm
regulations.
saying. Like you can get away with it, I think, or you get shut down. You're saying.
I'm saying you'd be shut down. Well, I mean, not to say you couldn't do it. I'm just saying that you need certain things to make a space livable, and like even your house, like if you have a room that doesn't have a closet, it's
Not a bedroom.
an egress window. It's not a bedroom.
Yeah.
Does that mean you can't put a bed in there and sleep in it? I mean, you can.
I wonder if I could rent this out.
Man, think of the prestige.
Ew, no. Could you imagine seeing the motherfucker just pissing in the yard?
Yep.
Like, it'd be like, fish tank of a
Tommy
dookie in
Jr.
it.
out here.
I don't understand. People that rent their own spaces out, it's creepy to me.
But if you do it strictly for investment, I mean, you get that, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to buy a house and rent it for the year.
Yes.
Would you ever rent your place at the lake?
Well, one, I'm not allowed to, but no. It's a camper. You got to like do certain steps when you get there and certain things when you leave, and it's just. But I bought a rental property. I mean, I bought a vacation property that I could afford, so I wouldn't have to rent it because I don't like the idea of someone sleeping in my bed.
That's kind of my
Like,
point. It's like I see so many people buy like their beach house and whatever else, and they struggle with the idea of like renting it out because it's like, hey, this is my space, this is my vacation. It's like,
Well, and then you only
also
get
it's
to
just
use it-
sitting there. Like, what
well,
else?
a
are you
lot
doing
of times, if it's successful, you get it once a year or twice
yeah,
a year. It's
that's
like
true too. You got to go in the off season.
I want to go when I want to go.
Yeah,
Like last
I want to
weekend.
pick up on a Thursday and go.
Last weekend was a great example. Had not planned to go, and then earlier that week I thought about it. I was like, oh man, I could go and maybe invite a couple of the guys. So that's what I did. Now, if that was a rental property, chances are it would have been rented out, and it would have been like, hey, I have a free weekend. I want to go to my lake. I can't do it.
No, so all you got to do is you call them up and tell
So
them
you
that there's a
gotta
dead
take
animal, and then
It's
you
the oldest
book them
trick
at
in
the
the
the hotel down the road
There you
that's
go.
cheaper, and
Cheaper,
you
yeah.
made money, and then you're paying
Nailed
for
it.
like your food and drink for the week.
That's right.
You should try it.
How could that possibly work? Who would that work on?
Oh, Mr. Kennedy's over here. He would like to-
Hearsay.
I wasn't involved in this transaction.
No. Doesn't sound like you're involved in many transactions.
Your credit card is just on file everywhere.
See ramen noodles.
You're gonna
a
make
callback.
me mad. I'm gonna go upstairs after this. Wake, honey, wake.
We need to talk.
You will not do such a thing.
It depends. If I drink too much, I do think that I'm like, you know what? I might just win this argument.
And I can guarantee that will not happen too.
Doesn't usually.
Yeah.
I can only think of like one or two.
This
I
has
was gonna say,
been
what's your overall record against your wife? You think in arguments, not like physical?
well, this behavior y'all been doing for 20 years. So like you wouldn't even have a leg to stand on. If you were like, why did y'all do that? She'd been like, this is how we do it.
This one is different. I've never had
No,
her,
but y'all do the whole like splitting the bill thing. So you end up paying for a lot.
but I've never seen when I'm out of town a full meal. Usually she has her own account, not like she has like the Uber Eats. I have the DoorDash.
Yeah, but why use your account when you can use someone else's?
Well, I understand the logic of how this went down. It just now it feels mean.
They didn't mean that at all.
They love you.
No, that was the only way they could get Takura Ramen was through my account.
Yeah, hers wouldn't have worked for sure.
Well, she couldn't put a credit card in there.
No.
You couldn't add a second credit card to
Why
the
would
account.
you? No.
They couldn't have driven 2 miles to pick it up.
Also that
I assure you, they probably could not have.
because your
oldest
daughters are
daughter
not
probably
old enough
could.
to drive.
Yeah, read into that how you may, but I'm
No one
pretty
in that
cer-
house was legally able to drive.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain. Yeah, there we go.
There we
that's,
go.
That's a way to put it.
Nailed it.
Yeah, like Tommy's kid would have been a better driver.
Oh, TJ.
Yep. Tommy Jr. Thomas Jr.
Should we just call him Tommy's kid? The name of the episode.
There you go. No, that's I'm glad they got their delicious ramen.
No, life is good.
For them.
Life is good. You know what else doesn't cost much? The new BMW.
There's a new BMW?
Oh,
They come out with them every year.
every year.
There's a lot more models of BMWs, right?
Yeah, they started adding
Because it
extra
used to
numbers.
be like 3, 5, and 7. Now I see 1s and 4s and
Two. Then there's the X's.
yeah.
Yeah, 6s and 7s.
Isn't there like a
Don't forget the Z3.
isn't there like a odd is for
It comes down to
coupes
the,
and I think evens are for sedans or something. I feel like I heard that, but that wouldn't make sense.
No, because like the 5 and the 5 is an SUV, I think.
at one time the
The 3, 5s, and 7s were all
The 3 is a sedan.
sedans. They were all sedans, but like the 3 you could get in a coupe.
well, you can get the 3 in a wagon.
Yeah.
That's
And that's the baddest one they make, especially if you find
isn't that the one that you
M.
can't get here in the U.S. though?
You can get them. They're just super rare and really expensive, but they are. That's one of the coolest cars out.
I think one of the most frustrating things about like international trade is that there are cars in Europe that are badass wagons, and I think y'all have talked about this before.
Oh,
yeah.
Some bad wagons.
Europe loves a
yeah.
wagon.
In Mercedes and BMWs that are just casual drivers over there that we can't get here.
It
And they
is
are
maddening.
bad.
I'm a
motherfuckers.
wagon guy. I own a wagon for
Oh,
sure.
I love a wagon. Just a nice. With four doors.
Audio medium. I
Yeah,
like
four
how you,
doors.
you visually you just grossed us all out with that weird.
Like the wagon you're dragging?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I got you.
Nice. No, so BMW just came out. You remember how we were talking about how Tesla like had bumped up the range when there was a hurricane? Like all of a
Yeah.
sudden they were like, "Don't worry, you can get out of here." It's like
And who was it that did the heated seats thing?
BMW.
That was BMW?
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. So they installed heated seats in all their
Yeah.
cars.
Oh, I thought we talked about that.
No,
didn't
we
talk-
haven't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you go buy a BMW right now. Guess what? You have heated seats.
Yeah, because it's a top line vehicle.
Yeah.
I would expect that. Why would I
Absolutely.
buy a BMW now with heated seats?
Sure.
Well-
are you willing to pay? Was it $150 a month?
It's $18 a month or $180 annually to use your heated seats.
Wait, what?
Literally, when
What
you're
about the radio? What's that cost per month?
BMW is doing a subscription service for the heated seats.
That I don't even see the legality of that. Like I don't even know.
It's honestly insane to me.
Yeah, it literally is. Like I can't understand legally how they can get. They've created a loophole to do that.
So it has to be like over the air,
yeah,
right? Like just like Tesla.
So now
does.
your
software.
So now your heated seats are connected to the Internet of Things.
Yes. Well, your car is.
Well, yeah.
So then they say no. So I'm leasing my BMW and it's it's $382
The
a
leasing-
month. And then they're
the
like
leasing is
or
a-
$400 and you get heated seats.
the leasing is a weird one. Let's just skip straight to the you buy it outright.
Okay, fine.
You've owned it.
You own it. You're
Then
paying
I still have to pay
$382 a
$18.
month.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, you want heated seats? It's actually $400 a month. Sorry.
So,
Or if I buy it outright, the heated seats won't turn on if I'm not paying my subscription.
but like, how does it work when like you don't? So obviously, like where we live, you wouldn't need it in June, July, and August. But like, you might not need it in April, but there could be a cold week, and you might want it for a week. Like, is it? do
I
you
mean,
have to,
I feel like
get
it's
the
like
app?
it's like Netflix. You can pay for it like you buy it and you have it for 30 days, and then you can cancel it the next day. But you've already paid for it. You've got it for the month.
yeah.
What a
So
I mean, that is
in that
dirty.
regard, it's like, yeah, if you live in a climate like here where I need it for 4 months or 5 months, like
You know what? I know what's funny though. I will actually use heated seats in the dead of summer sometimes.
that's ridiculous.
No, like my back. Like my back can hurt so bad. Like my lower back. I turn them on. It soothes the back. So I'll be sitting there sweating my ass
yeah, I
off.
was gonna say you're still sweating.
I hate a sweaty ass and back in the car. Like,
Well, Brendan likes the smell of it.
No, I
yes,
feel like this is.
we've definitely talked about that. Yeah, so he definitely loves the smell of his own sweaty balls.
Yeah, I mean he wants to.
Who doesn't love that?
Absolutely.
Who doesn't love that?
So I had to drop a Be Real.
Yeah, we got Be Real here.
Yeah, back-to-back weeks. Love that for you guys.
Right.
We're going live
So
on
the-
Be Real.
The thing I feel like I've been seeing the subscription-based service thing for so many things lately, and it
crazy.
infuriates me every time I see it. When we talked about the Tesla batteries, I was like, it's in the car. I own the car, or I'm buying the car. If you were to tell me that the bank owns the car until I've paid it off and I don't have access to it, fine.
Yeah.
The moment I clear that note, you have to give me that extended range.
Well, if you think about it for
Yeah.
a gas powered car, like how insane, like
Yeah. Oh, you can use
it goes-
3/4 of your
it
tank
goes
of gas.
18 miles a gallon, except I could make it go 25.
Yeah, we can put a little
gonna cost
little
you.
nozzle on it that's going
Yeah.
to limit how much gas actually comes out of your tank.
Well, and it seems weird too that it's not mechanical.
Yes.
It's over the air. Like I feel like like when I bought the golf car, I paid the extra $150 to get the tune up, and it was all electronic, but instead of going 14, it goes 20. So, but that's a one-time fee.
Yeah. You paid it once and you're
So
done.
you could see like if your truck gets 20 miles a gallon, but if you wanted to pay a $500 service fee, you get the 24 miles
Yes.
a gallon. Okay, that makes sense. Or like it's been since the dawn of vehicles, you want that added feature, you're going to pay an extra
Absolutely.
premium.
Hey,
And
I
usually
want
it's a
heated
lot.
seats.
Yeah.
I'll pay the extra
Exactly.
$1,000 or whatever it is.
Here's a little fun fact for you. An average install of an aftermarket heated seat kit into any car ranges from $250 to $700, and typically about $500 for most applications. So I could buy the BMW, have them pull out the old heated seats, put in new heated seats, and be making money in 3 years.
Yeah,
It shouldn't be that way.
Yeah,
But I'm just saying,
Because then you're
Yeah.
voiding
Yes.
all kinds of stuff. But I guess
Yeah, I'm
there'll
sure
be an
that
aftermarket
absolutely.
heated seat jump there.
I feel like if you do exactly what you're saying, Brendan, and rip out the one that comes in there and put a new one in, and you take it to the service, they'll be like, "Oh no, we can't do
Yeah.
this. This isn't the OG one." It's like, yeah,
I could
I
see
feel
that.
like the whole subscription base for every single thing that we do in our lives is driving me crazy.
Hold
it makes
on.
me feel like an insane person.
What if the thing that you're paying for is them just to literally like enable the electrical current
Yes,
to go?
It's literally the
So then, you could put in aftermarket heated seats, and they're like, "Blunk!"
turn it on.
And you're like, "Sorry, nerd, that's $18 a month if you would like that current to go from the battery to that seat."
God, yeah, it's somewhere in it's in the fuse box
Yeah,
instead.
I mean,
like-
essentially, that's what you're paying
Yes.
for. It's
just
just software.
turning it on.
But it's with everything. Again, we talked about with the battery thing. Like once the idea of like cutting the cable and everybody was going to do like, oh, I've got Netflix only and everything else. I was like, great, you're paying $15, and then you added
Wrong.
HBO, and then you added Hulu, and then you added Disney, and then you added this, and, this,
And they
this,
snuck
this.
commercials in a lot of them.
Yes, and
There
it's
will
like,
be a point where it's like, "Hey, I just
I'd
discovered
rather have
something.
DirecTV.
It's cheaper to get cable, y'all."
I have heard many people going back to cable because of that. Like the subscription based thing has gotten to be where it's like, I'm paying so much, I might as well get cable. And then it's like, it's a one stop shop instead of 8 different
Yeah.
subscriptions.
I don't have to know 8 different passwords. I know
Exactly.
the one, and that subscription also gives me digital access and streaming and everything else.
It'll get to a point where they can win if they just
Oh, yeah.
can hold on. Where DirecTV will be dead. In 3 years, DirecTV will be gone because they lose Sunday Ticket after this season.
Yeah, I heard about that.
That is the kiss of death for them.
That's the only thing holding them on.
Absolutely. Like for years now, I've had DirecTV, and I refuse every time. They're like, "Hey, we'll give you this, this, and this if you just sign up for 2 more years." And I'm like, "Oh hell no! I can't wait to kick you to the curb."
Yeah.
Like you are gone. But then, what is going to happen when I'm trying to run 5 TVs on my shitty internet connection, and I've got to get 5 different like streaming? They're going to charge me for every one of those.
Well,
They're-
we've already tried to cut the cable and just do the internet thing, more than one. And Verizon Fios has figured that out because basically by the time you cut the cable, and we have everything, cable, 2, 3 phones, all this stuff. And basically by the time you cut all that and go back to the internet, it's like so outrageously overpriced. You're like, well, I might as well just pay a few more extra dollars and continue to pay what I
Oh,
pay.
they got me. So I had to get the triple play.
Yeah, that's what I have.
With
I
Fios?
still have a landline.
Yeah, so they were like, we'll give you a landline, we'll give you the fast ass internet,
Yeah.
and then we're
Cable.
going to give you cable. And I was like, well, I don't need your cable service. And they're like, okay, well, it'll be $20 more a month. I was like, oh, hold on now, really? Like you're going to
Yeah.
charge me more to get less? They're like, well, it's just the bundle.
Oh, and
deal.
I don't need the landline.
Yeah, I don't. But it was cheaper. So
Yeah.
So now I got the cable service, the internet, and the phone, and they gave me this little box. They were like, "What box do you want?" And I was like, "I just want like the cheapest piece of shit box you've got. I'm not paying some monthly crap." So they gave me this box. That was like 8 years ago. Well, just the other day, I'm talking to them on upgrading, and finally, they were like, "Oh, well, you can keep the landline and this badass internet connection. It'll actually cost less than what you've got." And I was like, "Oh, well, hell yeah!" And they were like, "Cool, just send us back that box." And I'm like, I never hooked up that box. Like, I have no idea
Oh, wow.
where that box is." And they were like, "All right, well, then you're gonna have to buy that box." And I'm like, "You're talking about the antiquated box from almost a
Yeah,
decade
yeah.
ago
That I never
that
used.
doesn't even do HD." And they're like, yeah, that $300 box you need to send back. And I'm like, "You motherfucker."
We can pawn that off on somebody else.
Yep.
Yeah. So I ended up having to pay them for the box that I could not locate.
Wow.
So I ended up losing like a one-time fee because I couldn't find it. I tore my attic apart. I tore every crawl space in this house. Never
Once
took
you
it out of the
pay
box.
it, you'll find it.
Is it this guy?
Yeah, as soon as you
Zoinks!
stroke that check.
Yeah, no, the whole, all right, 6, 7, 8, 10 years ago, however, back when the whole like Internet of Things idea came out, like, oh, your whole house can be connected, your thermostat can be on,
Do it.
your refrigerator can tell you when you're out of milk, and your washer and dryer can do
Brilliant.
Everyone's like, fuck yeah, sign me up. I want all this shit. I don't have to think about anything.
Yeah, the
Everything
service
signed
guy
up.
shows up.
Exactly.
He's like, "Hey, turns out you need a new flange."
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, and it's on top of that, and it's like, well, we still have this one router that's powering everything, and now you got cell phones, you got tablets, and you got
Yep.
laptops, and you got TVs, and you got so many things now, like overloading that system, and on top of it,
Killing it.
now you're as the consumer, the product providers, they know everything about you. They know every little detail, and it's like, it stresses me out.
It's a great example of what the professionals say is going to happen if and when everyone starts to go electric cars. Like that modem isn't designed to do everything we're asking it to, and the electric grid isn't designed to have every
You're gonna have to have,
every
like,
house having 2 electric cars.
off and on charging schedules and everything else.
So I got I work in digital advertising, right? And so I saw someone the other day, and they were like, "Yeah, we got all like the Roomba's data," and I'm like, "What exactly?"
Oh yeah, they can get your floor plan right.
Turns out that's I was like, "What is the? Why would I ever need a Roomba's data?" And they were like, "Oh, furniture companies love it because we know that you don't have a table in there, and you should." And I'm like, "No."
Or you can fit
What?
X-size couch in that room.
Oh, you have a couch that's this size, but we see that you've got 4 kids in your house and you need a bigger couch.
Yeah, so
100%.
your damn Roomba's creeping around the place going, needs a couch, needs a couch,
That
and
is-
selling that data.
Yep.
It's the most dystopian like universe that
It's
we are living in.
1984,
It
man. It's
freaks
wild.
me out.
It is crazy. So our fridge tried to hook up to the internet, and I told it no.
Just shoot it.
Because I couldn't figure out what the value was.
Yeah.
I was like, what exactly am I gaining?
Yeah.
It doesn't it's just sending data for no
Yeah.
reason. I was like, no, I'm good.
That's
All
how
it does is
I hate
it
that
knows
Alexa.
every time you open the door, every time you open the freezer, every time you put something on a shelf. Like,
Yeah, you don't need to know this.
no.
Shit, you don't know that. It might have a listening device for all you know, and you've
They all do.
you've approved it
Yeah.
to.
Well, every one of these TVs listens
yeah.
because these are all smart TVs, and every one of these sells that data.
Has a speaker on, just listening all the time.
At all times.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
it-
called
it freaks
audio
me out.
content recognition, ACR. And
It's
every
so
time
dirty and
every
gross.
time you say yes, because you want it to work,
Yeah.
so you say yes, and it
You
goes
have to
cool.
do the I agree.
Yeah,
It
get
can
the
be
terms and
passive.
services, yeah.
Then it's not smart if it's passive. It's
Yeah.
got to be active.
so it's listening to everything, and it knows what's up. And how many times do you hear your phone go, "I'm sorry, I didn't catch that"? You're like, I literally never even said anything close to the words.
I have my thing turned off, but it still picks up. Like I have the what is it, iPhone has Siri. I don't have that even turned on, but it definitely the apps all listen because I see it. I see shit popping up,
All the time.
Freaks me out, man.
and sometimes it's not even. You don't even say it. You don't even look for it on your phone. It's like it knows you're in the vicinity of something.
I've noticed that. I think so they say that they're not listening, right? But I think what they do is if my phone's next to your phone and you look it up, then it goes, all right, these two are hanging out for hours.
Yeah.
And then he looked it up. They talked about it
I think you're right.
and then send us it because they swear they're not listening. But I'm like, well, how does it work? The only thing I can come up with is it's proximity based.
Yeah.
So the things I've read about that are effectively like I have my personal interest, you have your personal interest, Troy has his personal interest, and it says, well, these 3 people get together,
Yeah.
they share time together, they likely have some overlapping interests, so they just start putting those things out. They say like, I know what Lee likes. Let's just start feeding that to Troy and
Yeah.
see what hits.
Yeah.
And then the one thing does hit, and you click on the link, and it's like, oh, boom, we found our match. We know what
Yeah.
the thing is.
And you can go
your
off
wife,
from that.
your kids, your neighbors, all that kind of stuff. It does proximity based, where it's just like your phone is near this phone constantly. Y'all
Same
are
thing with
close.
like Facebook, right? Like you bump into someone, you have dinner with somebody, then all of a sudden they're like, you should be friends with so and so, and you're like, motherfucker.
That does that, doesn't it?
It does. It's proximity. It
'Cause-
knows you were spending time with this person. You may not have even realized you, were spending
You know
time
who
with
it tried. You know who my Facebook tried to hook me up with 6 months ago. Said I should be friends with.
Stu.
No, it knows better. The guy that sold me, and the guy's out of Charlottesville. The guy that sold me what?
Like your stove or something?
Yeah, the wood stove.
Yeah, that makes
and he
sense.
has a weird name, and he popped up on my Facebook, and I was like, it's got to be the same guy.
Yeah, it's because he was in your house for a while.
No, I never met the guy.
Oh, that's even weird.
I only talked to him on the phone.
Oh, well, you called that number.
Bank transactions.
I called his business number.
Well, that's
not,
even weird.
Not his personal Facebook.
Well, I can't explain that
It
one away.
wasn't the company that sold me. It had to have been his name, his weird ass name. Probably, me saying his name 100 times when I'm talking to him or talking to the other people. They're probably like,
They
this
got to be
guy's name. Yeah,
It's so crazy. We live in a
It's
weird
that's only
time.
what we know too.
Well,
Imagine
not
what
even we
don't
know. We just like assume and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
piece
yeah.
together the idea.
But imagine what you don't know. I mean, literally tip of the iceberg shit.
scary shit.
I make a lot of money explaining things to people. People are like, that can happen? I'm like, oh, yeah. You want to buy it?
Yeah.
It costs pennies
Yeah,
for those people.
and you will make lots of pennies.
Yeah. And I can make you dimes. And
Yeah.
You're like, sold. Let's do it.
Everybody's doing it. All right, I'm in.
Yeah, the moment we all started signing those terms and conditions blindly on iTunes back in the day is when we
Yeah.
all lost our morals and everything. It's like,
Best thing that ever happened.
take it. I'm sure. From your perspective, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, look, I got no.
Well, I mean, a lot of that stuff is like, how do you say no?
Yeah,
How do
you have,
like
you
your
have to
TV,
say
you buy
yes
a
to be able
TV,
to.
Yeah,
yes.
it's like I want
it to work.
Brandon said, I
Yeah.
want the TV to work.
I want to download this app on my phone. I have to say yes.
Yeah.
That's right. That is exactly it.
Now, and there is,
know
in
who
their
doesn't?
defense, there's probably a legal way that you could go in there and silence it, but it's 18 steps and impossible to do.
Yeah.
You can now.
You have to write a letter, like a formal letter,
Yeah.
send it directly to the.
And Virginia's about to be on kind of the bleeding edge as far as the states go. Your privacy is getting better here. It's making my job more
That's good.
difficult.
yeah, fuck you, Brendan.
Kind of good. Started in
Yeah.
California, but Virginia's got it now. We're pushing it through. We're going to stop collecting as much data. Yeah. Give it time. Give it time. You know who doesn't collect data?
You don't even know your damn credit card's being used to buy ramen.
I figured it out.
3 days later.
You know who's not collecting data?
Who?
Nectar sunglasses.
That's right.
Yeah.
They collected mine last week.
Yes. Well, they're collecting
Yeah,
that.
so you got a new hat. Nice.
Hell yeah.
It looks
Shout
good.
out Sean.
Did you put
use your own
Hell
code?
yeah, I did.
you put Abacus in
Fuck
there?
yeah.
Was
and
that
you got-
meta as shit or
Yeah, it
what,
was.
dude?
That's pretty dope.
That's cool.
If you head over to Nectar Sunglasses and drop Abacus in the coupon code, you will get 20% off of your order.
Figure out how to spell it, dummies.
ABACUS.
You didn't make them work for it.
If you haven't had a chance to head over to Be Real, I totally understand. But if you are looking for a new friend on Be Real, BP Kennedy 34, hit me up.
And FTBAUER.
Nice. Making friends. If you haven't had a chance to head over to our Facebook page, you can always do so. Or send us topics at InsideThePalletHouse@gmail.com. We'd love to know what you're talking about, what first world problems you have, and we'll try to fix them. Or if there's a beer you want us to try, well, we'd be glad to try it. But you know it would be more helpful if we wanted to try your beer? Send us some money on Venmo.
That's right. Venmo at Inside the Pallet House.
And thank you guys so much for tuning in this week. If you haven't had a chance to get a mortgage, it's about time you do it. Grow up. Stop renting. Head over to Screen Door Mortgage. Jimmy will take care of you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be talking to you next week. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, that dang old internet, man, you just go on there, click, it's real easy, man.
That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?